Wow, so as of filming this video, we had an exciting summer going into September of 2025. As many of you know, we saw the Darth Vader lightsaber sell at auction for $3.6 million. Absolutely mind-blowing, but if you don't have a spare $3.6 million laying around, you might be interested in this little guy right here. This is the DV6, and it is a very similar version to what just sold on auction. Let's take a look. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. So today we're taking a look at the Darth Vader DV6, which is a very similar version to what just sold at auction for $3.6 million. I mean, to have a spare $3.6 million, all I can hope is that if it's a single person that actually bought this for their own personal collection, I do hope they put it out there on tour so more people in the world can get a chance to actually see this thing. Because let's face it, that is a piece of Star Wars history. And if it's just gonna sit in someone's personal collection and never see the light of day ever again, that would be a shame. So I am praying to God. I know a lot of you out there actually got a chance to see this. A bunch of my friends actually got to see that prop on display over at the prop store and everything. And I really wish I was able to make it out there to see that prop. But a huge congratulations to whoever it was that laid out that money for it to have a piece of that Star Wars history in your collection, and I hope it does see the light of day for everybody to get to enjoy it again. But anyway, today we're taking a look at the DV6, which was basically one of the other stunt versions. So the story that I understand that goes along with this DV6 is that they needed another stunt version or whatever, they needed some backups, and they went and grabbed a stunt version of the Graflex and they cut off the top and they mounted, you know, just similar parts and everything. And you really only see the DV6 in one scene as far as I know, kind of like the Yuma. Luke's Yuma was only used in like a one scene or something. So it's like, but we all know of the Yuma and we all know of the DV6. This was sent over from the folks over at CCSabers. Thank you guys so much for sending this over for everybody to check out. I'll put a direct link for this and a discount code for you down in the description if you want to check this out. And everything else that CCSabers has. They have a fantastic selection of 89 sabers. And before we dig on in, if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by for a lightsaber review. Please drop on down, help me out, hit the like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. I have a lot of lightsabers to come. I have some toy unboxings, trip to New York Comic-Con coming up, all stuff I don't think you're going to want to miss. And a very special thank you to all my YouTube channel members for all your extra support. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's dig on into this unboxing. So we have all the stuff that comes with the DV6 here. Of course, we have the hilt. This is very similar to what sold at auction. You can see like all the bolts on the side, but there are a lot of differences between this one and that one. That one resembled much more the MPP version of the hilt itself. And on this one, you're gonna see where all the Graflex parts are because they just kind of cut off the top and just made a couple adjustments and everything to this when they were putting this stunt together. And we'll take more of a look at that in a second. We do get the CCSabers white gloves. We have a USB charger. Then you're gonna get an envelope, and inside that envelope, you're gonna get all your manual stuff. This is a Profi 3.9, and this is all the information to run your Profi 3.9 board. Now, I've also said this on the show, I love when they make things in the design. This is a 2-button design, and they utilize those 2 screws that are supposed to be here on the control box. So you have your power and your auxiliary. And then, of course, you will get your blade. I'm actually going to use one of my blades. This is a much shorter blade, really lightweight. This is a 28-inch blade, just because it's the one that was sitting right there. And of course, last but not least, you do get the awesome 89 saber stands. These displays are really one of my favorites. You know, they're very museum piece-like. I really love these things. Digging on in this a little bit, like I was saying, this is very similar to the one that just sold on auction because it has all of the Allen bolts all around, which held, you know, the whole center together with the hilt, and you had the rod that came out where the blade would actually just kind of, you know, attach to, so they can just swap that out whenever they needed to and when it broke or whatever. So what you're gonna see about this one kind of has its own thing versus the other one. The other one was much more MPP flash looking. This you could see where the stories kind of holds up, where they kind of grabbed a Graflex and they cut off the top a little bit. You can see a lot of the, the stuff from the Graflex right here. So here's a Graflex where you can kind of see the grips are exactly the same. Right over here, you can see this little bump, right, underneath this glass eye here. So right there is this piece here where they changed it out to this little guy. So you can see the similarities and the bump up in the actual hilt itself right around that piece. So they just swapped this kind of glass eye thing out, or button, whatever it was on the piece that they used. So anyway, digging on into this guy here, we do have a fully removable chassis. Now this is actually quite a bit of a different chassis than I thought was going to be in here. If you guys have been watching the show for a while, you've seen all the typical chassis that are in the 89sabers, and this is quite a bit different than I thought was going to be in here. There's no kill switch anywhere. It also has this kind of aluminum housing over here that says Darth Vader DV6 89sabers on it. Up here on the top, you can see the SD card, the connection for the Profi, and these will be the pin connectors to pop back in here. So this only goes in one direction, so do be careful. So now what's going to happen, because there's no kill switch inside, after a certain amount of time, the Profis just go to sleep. They have a really good sleep mode. I mean, I've got stuff that's been in sleep mode for months and months and months on end, and occasionally I go over there and touch it and it turns right on. So Profi's got a really good sleep mode. This is actually the retention screw right here. So you just unscrew this and your blade or blade plug comes right on out, and you can fit your blade right in, no tools needed, and just screw that right on down. So we've got all the typicals, the twist on and twist off. We have all your blaster deflects. We've got your smooth swing, accent swings. We got lockup. It does have all the tip drag and everything. It's just that Profi is programmed for 36-inch blades. I'm actually using a 28 because that's what was sitting here. Now, the only thing with like the DV6 type things is that you got this gigantic control box over here, and then you've got these little greebly things over here. So it's a little tough to figure out exactly where to put your hand so that, things aren't digging into your palm or your fingers and stuff like that. I think the stunt version needs a stunt version.
Master wouldn't do.
The audio on this sounds really good too. I mean, there's not a tremendous amount of audio venting anywhere, but just with this little cover, I guess it's coming out of these little cracks right on the side here. And you do have a bunch of pre-programmed styles in here. To access those different blade styles, you're gonna hold auxiliary and then long press power, and then let your power go, and then let auxiliary go. So long press auxiliary, hold power, let go. There you go. Some of the blade styles are just simply colors. Got a fire blade. All right, auxiliary, power, let go. Auxiliary, power, let go. Now over here in the reflection, you can kind of see a little bit more of what the blade style looks like with the naked eye. Solid red. Now you can also change the blade color as well. It's the same thing you were just doing, but you're gonna hold auxiliary and just click power rather than hold it. So auxiliary, click power. And you're gonna hear that beep, and you're just gonna give a twist. And with that, you can kind of go as slow as you want and go fast, but you can fine tune the color if you just wanna twist it really slow. Well, let's get back to a red. Then you're just gonna click in power when you find a color. When the blade is off, you can get in there and adjust your volume. So what you're gonna do is hold your power and click auxiliary. So power, click auxiliary.
Volume menu.
All right, now you're in the volume menu, and you can just twist.
Maximum volume.
And when you're ready, just set it in by hitting power.
Exiting volume menu.
All right, everybody, that's about it. This is the Darth Vader DV6 from the folks over at CCSabers. Thank you guys so much for sending this over for everybody to check out. I'll put a direct link and discount code for everybody down in the description, so definitely head on over there and check that out. And head on down into the comments. Let me know what you think of the DV6, or if you have a spare $3.6 million to buy a movie prop from the film. I'm happy to hear that story as well. And I want to send a special thank you to all of my YouTube channel members. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your extra support. All right, I will see you all on the next video, my friends. Be safe and kind out there in the world. And again, if you have an extra $3.6 million, send a couple bucks this way so I can get a movie prop. All right, see you guys on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.